Home decided to watch some TV, listening to the news by Gordon Mosley. I listening to the things that he say he tracking tonight, paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. But when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced me that people ain't learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say ERC pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that, they say ERC coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say nothing, black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. ERC that I would like to know, if any of its members happens to be black people. And if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair, and we see the same thing keep happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man want to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media fussing people all the time, I still say black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Excuse me, see they fail to condemn, because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. Kidaki Amsterdam went to go just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. I still singing, black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticizes this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a cold summer man with forward. Under this government decide to fabricate a case, but like they forget the warning they get from black t-shirt jails. The vice president is prepared to use as a low life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. I still singing, black people in learning. Just the other day, I hope your man see help is on the way.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place or you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. This is, Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you. All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in, I come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching, the blind matching, the carpet matching, the this matching, the that. We know but we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're going to be drunk, we got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also, for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. Sorry. I'm sorry. That's it.
AP and you, rise Guyana shine. Together we build, now is the time. With Aubrey strong and heart so true, we're rising up. It's me and you, both AP and you. For justice care, for every family, everywhere. For jobs, for schools, for brighter days. For youth and elders, better ways. Who you voting for? Who gon' lift you more? Who gon' care for all? Stand up tall and vote. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you, go, 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 go. AP and you.
How many bowel movements do you have a day? If the answer is one or less, we need to talk. Everything starts in the gut. Toxins, bloating, constipation, even parasites can build up silently, affecting your mood, your skin, your immune system, and your energy. Ultra Body Cleanse is a simple 15-day system. Morning tablet to flush from the inside. Nighttime tea to detox and reset. People don't realize it, but most problems start in the gut. And when you clean it out, you feel lighter, you look healthier. You finally go. Like you should. Don't wait for symptoms. Ask your artist distributor today how to start your Ultra Body Cleanse.
So what I'm buying? All you do? May you support the coalition like me? Very good choice, because the coalition putting people first. But let me ask you something. You check for your name on the list yet? Well, partner, you got to check for your name on the list and show you there. So you go put the vote next to the palm come the 1st of September. Let me show you how to check them. In a hard, man. You just got to go up on GCOM website. When you go up on GCOM website, you go see this thingy. You see them? That GCOM website. You just got to scroll up or scroll down, whichever one you want to call them, but you try to go bottom of the page. And you see this red and white writing here, Resource Hub. Click on that. Once you click on that, you will see General and Regional Election for September 2025. Scroll up again. And then right on your left hand side, you see Query Tool. Watch me click on them and it turn blue there. Click on them. Good. Now you read the page there. They ask you online. They tell you about online tools, query your registration status. All them are said check to see if your name there. You can put in your ID number and you can search by ID number. But me no want to give you my ID number because not for you too fast. Now what my ID number. Me go search by my first name, my last name, and my date of birth. So me put in Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my first name Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my last name. Right? And then me go put in my date of birth. But again, I don't want to mind my business. But me go put in my data board. But are you watch me face good and proper? Me, I want coalition supporter because the coalition is putting people first. Right? When me don't put in my data board and you don't put in you want to click on search by particulars. When you click on search by particulars, this is how I go come up. You see revised list of electors and so on. We watch your name there right there. Me name there right there. When you scroll down, we name there right there. Occupation, teacher name, Amsterdam, Kidaki. Address, 9 section C, Buxton. District 4, Demerara, Mahaika. Division 421-127C. Buxton Village, Friendship Village, south of the railway line. We tell you, man. No one background side, man. And me stay strong. Me as support the Aubrey Norton for president and director of finance for prime minister coalition, the APNU coalition. Because they got policies that are people-centered. They're putting people first. So when September 1st come and you go in the booth, now when all of them just come, Johnny come lately and all of them will tell you stupidness. Put your X next to the palm. Palm them out. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what the palm look like when you put your X next to. In case you don't know. What's the palm there? Put your X next to the palm and vote strong for the APNU coalition. Because we put in people first, and when you vote for we're going to ensure, you vote going to ensure that we get rid of the nasty, dirty, stinking, thieving PPP party and give you the best opportunity in this country that you ever had. So vote APNU. But before you vote APNU, remember you have to check to ensure that you're named upon the list. So go GCOM website. Go check them. Okay? Me gone. Me left for you. But spread the word. Spread the word. Tell everybody how to check for their name and tell everybody to vote for APNU. Buxton, Guyana, it's here again. The Black is Beautiful Cultural Evening this July 31st, Buxton Line Top, featuring Mark Buxton, Divine Stars, Brian Chester, Eyes of the Ancestors on the drums, Buxton Fusion, and the indomitable Yoruba singers. Lots of songs, poetry, Nancy story, dance, and lots more cultural entertainment. Come out. Buxton Line Top this July 31st. It is the annual 1st of August movement and friends. Black is Beautiful. Evening of cultural entertainment. Calling all seniors. It's soiree time. Yes, the big people soiree. Say August 1st at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Come out. Come on, let's feast and well-prepared African traditional dishes and be entertained by drumming, folklore, music, and lots more. Admission, it's absolutely free. Come out, let us celebrate our elders. It's the Elders Soiree at Club Twilight, Sideline Dam, Buxton North, August 1st. Come one, come all. Starting time, 12 o'clock, midday. Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At EC Party Rentals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 622-5933. We have what you need. EC Party Rentals. Big on tents. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today. Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At Easy Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T and W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat Section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T and W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
Too long them PPP fatten up while we beg. Milk and honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children hungry. Tell me what to do. From Berber straight to let them side, it's only lies them they're trying to hide. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been silent while them do wrong. Too long, too long. Them thiefing with a suit and a song. Too long, too long. We paid the price, they played the done. Guyana rise, we must be strong. This can't go on. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Contract sign in the middle of night. No tender, no board, just bribe and spite. Them cousin, them friend, them pot the deal, while pensioners can't afford one meal. The court slow, the press hush, hush, and critics end up on the bus. You talk too loud, they label you bad, but silence now gon' drive we mad. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been watching while they plunder and gone. Too long, too long. It's only rich men they cheering on. Too long, too long. We dream dead while they live strong. Guyana rising with freedom song. This can't go wrong. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who owned the trucks? Who get the land? Who signed the check with blood on hand? Oil money flow, but not to we. Where the hospital, where the subsidy? It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We suffering wrong. Stand tall. Time for change comes strong. Too long, too long. The PPP must go. The nation mourning song. One people, one nation, one destiny. Arise up and move along. This can't go on. Nah. Justice, justice, justice now. We tired of bowing down. Freedom, freedom, freedom now. Time to reclaim we crown. Justice, 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 this now. We tired of bowing down.
Greetings, greetings, residents of Golden Grove and surrounding communities. The Working People's Alliance and APNU invite you to a public meeting this Monday, August 4th at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include Professor David Hines, Aubrey Norton, Dion Abrams, Audriana Thomas, and others. Starting time 6 p.m. Come one, come all. Yes, this Monday, 6 o'clock in the evening, the Working People's Alliance and APNU invites you to a public meeting at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include leader of the APNU, Aubrey Norton, Professor David Hines, Audriana Thomas, and others. Come one, come all. Greetings, greetings, residents of Golden Grove and surrounding communities. The Working People's Alliance and APNU invite you to a public meeting this Monday, August 4th at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include Professor David Hines, Aubrey Norton, Dion Abrams, Audriana Thomas, and others. Starting time 6 p.m. Come one, come all. Yes, this Monday, 6 o'clock in the evening, the Working People's Alliance and APNU invites you to a public meeting at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include leader of the APNU, Aubrey Norton, Professor David Hines, Audriana Thomas, and others. Come one, come all. That is 20 minutes to 8 o'clock on the 28th of July in the year 2025. How have you been? How was your weekend? It was, I don't know. The weekend seemed to be such a long thing to me. I worked so hard. The weekend really, really seems hard. Can't tell when last I worked so hard. But anyhow, I'm accustomed to working hard. But this weekend was extreme. How y'all been? How was y'all yesterday? How was y'all last night? How y'all Saturday night and so? What y'all did for the weekend? Were you able to make those extras? Have you utilized your special talents? How close are you to achieving those set goals, those smart goals that you've set? Remember I said they gotta be short term, medium term, long term. Some of you should be around medium now. Right? What's happening? Y'all talk to me. How y'all coming up? How things coming? Kim Walker says she think I make work. Trust me, I believe I make work. Right? And I also believe I got some people who believe I make work. Because by the time I say I'm going to chillax a little bit, somebody calling me, Mr. Amsterdam, come move his bucket for me now. Mr. Amsterdam, I stumped me too. Come dig out this root for me now. Oh, Lord. And I think I got weakness. I can't say no or I don't like say no. Right? I don't like to say no. But I can say no. If I think you're overdoing it, then there will come a point when I say no. And if I start telling you no, trust me, it's no every time you ask. Right? Every time you ask, you go me no. So don't let me start telling you no. Like they got some banners as soon as they see, as soon as I see them, I me know about this turn. Brother, good morning. Yeah, 100 day. No. Brother, morning. I got something I can eat. Yeah, I got something you can get it. Brother, get buy 1,000. No. Why? I think you know why. Because a lot of these dudes come to me for my money to go and smoke. I don't smoke. I don't drink liquor. So I can give me money for smoke and drink liquor. Especially if I see it is harming you. They got some real addicts out there, you know. And since they shape up, no, not my money. I gotta give you food. Good. So yes, I could say no. I could say no. The morning, I am on my bridge, I working my tail off. Early in the morning, I get up walking early. A man passing. Morning, bro. Morning, what kind are you? I got morning. You walking here, man. Buddy, you can give me 200? No. Why? You see me walking my ass off. You can ask me for wallet assistance. You could ask about no money. But listen, sometimes you just got developing no spirit. But generally, I think sometimes I think I am too lenient, too willing. Let me say that. Good. But you have to be able to assess this situation. You know, it's life, it's humankind. Just as you have to be able to assess the situation in every aspect of your life. And I'm asking you, how those projects and plans are coming along? How do you see the coalition political campaign coming along? I want you to talk to me about that this morning. Do you have some recommendations to the coalition? I will open up the lines so you can tell us that. And I think I will open up the lines early so you can tell us that. Because listen, I don't want us to be doing. I think we're doing what needs to be done. And then out to the blues at the end of all, they're doing somebody said, but y'all didn't do it right. Y'all missed this or y'all missed that. So this morning, I am going to be your conduit. I'm going to be taking your guidance as to what needs to be done and if what is being done currently is being done. Don't find the PPP, man. And when all of them, you know, everybody can have the same idea. It all comes to implementation and monitoring and everything of that nature. Right? It all comes down to that. That's why I woke up and I said, wait. But pound for pound, if you put the APNU list of candidates alongside any of the other political party, the APNU list of candidates is superior to them by miles. By miles. Doctor this, doctor that, doctor the other, professor this, professor that, professor the other. Did I see anybody on the APNU list who doesn't have a first degree? I wonder. I gotta go through the list again. Or I gotta ask Carol Joseph. Is there any candidate on the APNU list without a first degree? From a reputable institution, I dare say? Y'all tell me. I wonder, you know. But I know that you have a doctor in this and a doctor in that and a doctor in the other and a doctor in the next. And so every sector of this economy, right? Every sector of this economy under an APNU administration is expected to have, let me call it for I see it, an academic somewhere there who can provide guidance based on his or her course of study and experience. The PPP got specialists though. So I don't think the PPP got specialists. The PPP got specialist rapists. The PPP got specialist child molesters. The PPP got specialist abductors. The PPP got specialist quack doctors. The PPP got specialist thieves. So they got specialists though. But it's the quality of specialists that matters. The quality of specialists that matters. And you see it every day. And sometimes I don't know if my son knows that. But sometimes I like to ride with him because he opens my critical eye sometimes. Things that I didn't know or I didn't pay attention to. Sometimes we ride in and he just say, "What? Isn't that the other day they do this road? Why they breaking it up already? Did you recognize that the stretch of road on the railway embankment that was constructed, I think maybe from UG Road all the way down to Ogle? Not so long ago. Has been dug up again? Yeah, the man broke up the whole thing. Broke up the whole thing. And so we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars there that has already gone into a contractor's pocket. Contractor and friends, like the big old minister. Because no contract is awarded, according to my understanding, without the big old minister getting his cut. And then all the middlemen and women getting their cut. So hundreds of millions of dollars there gone down the drain for taxpayers. And then by building again. Then by building again. And so even a cursory look at that, you recognize that them one of this thing got no specialists, no technocrat really. To ensure that what they produce is of a high quality and lasting. The PPP has not built a road in this country that I'm confident will last 5 years, much less 25 years or 50 years. So they just got us on this revolving thing. Every 2 mornings, they got to rebuild the same road. The so-called streets that they did in Buxton, the ones that they did with bitumen, you go and watch them. None of them got edge, you know. Some women wear wigs so often and paysan wigs so often that every time they pull it out, they're pulling out the edges. It's so some of them would look. They got no edges. They got no edges. Just a lot of women that's complain, oh God, my edges gone. They ain't got no edges. And because the road is so narrow, when the edges go, it's half of the road is left. So come through Buxton, for example, and check on those roads that they say they did with bitumen. It's sheer half road. All the edges gone. That is how we want our taxpayers' money to be spent. That is the quality of governance that we want. Because all those who tell themselves that they're going to vote for the PPP, they are going voting for, you know. A continuity. You are voting for continuation of this piss-poor governance that we got. This is what I want. Our friend Humi says, Mr. Amsterdam, you're wrong. They got specialists in building substandard things so that they would keep repeating it and get more money. Is that what we want? Substandard? We could do better. We could do much, much better. And especially those young people. Especially those young people who are in we ain't got no time with the Granger, we ain't got no time with the coalition because the coalition you do not do it. It's time to give somebody else a chance. We got in blue. Y'all gonna sing the blues after September 1st. Y'all go blue. And you're gonna sing the blues. Because I guarantee you, I am guaranteeing you, the blue can't win the election. And if the blue can't win the election, but they can get some votes, it means the blue is reducing the possibility of removing the PPP from office. And if on the morning of September 2nd, the PPP is still in office, y'all gonna suck salt. Salt y'all gonna suck. The blue might be in parliament. But the blue can't do anything for you by just being in parliament. I say y'all gotta consider this. And I keep telling y'all, consider this. A vote for the blue party is first and foremost a wasted vote. If you're considering the necessity of removing the PPP. And secondly, it is a vote for the PPP because the blue party and the PPP cut from one cloth. They were once Batty and Poe, as we like to say. They were bedfellows and still is. Because I'm asking you the question again, do you believe that the leader of the blue party and everybody in the PPP are at war with each other now? Certainly not. You might be at war with one or two persons, but not all of them. Not all of them. And so when you don't do your utmost to remove the PPP from office, the possibility is that they will be right there watching you September 2nd. And if they're watching you September 2nd, then they feel emboldened. Yeah, they say, get them an inch, take a yard, get them a yard, they take a mile. They feel emboldened. And if you think they're doing bad now, then imagine when they feel emboldened, what will happen. And all of these hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that are being misspent and misused falls in your shoulder as the next generation or even as the current generation, because the youth is now. And so let me tell you, in case you didn't know, that money is borrowed by a nation have to be repaid. And those monies are repaid through taxation especially. And the people who are expected to pay taxes so that the government can repay the monies that they borrow and misuse are the citizens. So young people, if you don't get rid of the PPP and they continue wasting this money like this, it's your burden. It is your burden because your taxes will have to repay the money. Don't me, as Mr. Jordan said, I must get a toe in already too. The extended period of time that you will have to, this country will have to be repaying debts Even if I were to live to make 100 years, can be a short time for me contributing compared to the length of time that we'll have to be repaying those debts. Trust me. As a younger generation, are you young people who will have to deal with the repayment of those debts? So if you want joke around with your future and joke around with your freedom, continue clunging yourself around not doing win. You're gonna end up with win pain, and a lot of you, when you get win pain, just pass win a lot. You're gonna fight for survival in this country. The man is a good man. Ask a man the other day, a big man, you know, big. I don't know. This is not a little boy. This is not a young adult. This is a big man. We with the blue. We supporting the blue. Why are you supporting the blue? Because everybody got a chance. We try with graduate. We try with the PPP. No man do nothing. You gotta give everybody a chance. That's the only reason you're supporting the blue. Give me another reason why you support. Don't worry, man. The boss man say you're gonna know soon. Soon. And very shortly, you're gonna know why you must support the blue. Come on, we got about what 38 days, perhaps, the elections. Huh? Today's 28. About 36 days to an election. And a big man telling me, you're going to know soon and very shortly why you must support the blue. Youth man, young girl, don't let them banner pull you into this stupidness. Especially, and get it personally. Personal, which is not personal, but kind of personal. Especially the mole heads who ain't achieve nothing in this life. Them old hustlers with their boat and trying to eat the bread, and according to what are the past phantom killers, drink milk after the Mohammeds. And in order to get a bread or milk after the Mohammeds, they got to trade you. Be very careful with them. Simon Blackman, you could bet that I'm talking about Dennis Atwell. Definitely, I wasn't talking to Dennis Atwell. Dennis Atwell is furthest on my mind. I can't tell when last I heard nor see Dennis. And I'm not saying this disdainfully. I'm seeing the guy in a while. I haven't heard him in a while. But somebody did mention that he's supporting the blue. But I wasn't speaking of Dennis. And quite frankly, I thought Dennis was more politically aware and even socially aware. And I was quite surprised when somebody told me Dennis is supporting the blue. Because I never saw him as a political grasshopper. It's one time APNU, it's one time AFC, it's one time the blue. You got no conviction, you can't stick with what you choose. You sound like you can get enough marriages throughout this life. Anyhow, so I ain't worrying about that. I'm going back to talking to y'all. A lot of the people who are encouraging these youths, apart from the whole miseducation and misunderstanding that the young people have, a lot of the people who seem to be the example for the youths follow, or the example that the youths are following in the blue, is middle-aged, big people, we do much with the time, you know. Them is the real hustlers. And so Muhammad presents a chance for them to hustle. And part of the hustle is slave catching in the African Guyanese community for the Blue Party. And that can be healthy. And so I'm saying to your young people, look around you and identify your slave catchers. When they come to you and tell you about supporting Blue, ask them why. Ask them what they got to lose by supporting Blue. Compared to what you have to lose by supporting Blue. They don't live their life. They don't live a major part of their life. You young, the burdens of this country can fall on your shoulder. And so that they don't set you up to burden you further. Devil, get ye behind me. That's what you gotta tell them. Hey, big man, what's wrong with you? Blue, where you come from with that? You've been singing the blues all your life. Look at you. You're walking up for up in your house on a ladder. Your landlord showing you because you ain't paying rent. Every time I see you got a big giant in your mouth, on the corner, booming somebody, hey, give me 100. Or you could lead me anyway, man. Yeah? This is what I ask them. Recognize the importance of your vote and recognize where it is going to really serve the real purpose of removing the PPP. It can be with the Blue. The only political party right now that has and stand a good chance of removing the PPP from office by winning the largest block of vote is the coalition. Is the coalition. And so you just simply got to vote for the coalition. The ultimate aim right now is to get rid of the PPP. Even if I would think, even if I were to think that the Blue is an alternative, a good alternative to the PPP, the reality is the Blue cannot remove the PPP from office now. They can't remove the PPP from office now. They got to come to political maturity, maybe another 5-10 years. So I pat them on the head, hey, we got your mind, we're going to think about you. But right now, it's every shoulder to the wheel to get the PPP out of office. All the votes will go to the coalition. And when we don't get the PPP out of office, we're going to give you the support to keep the coalition on their toes, make them accountable, and we're going to build you in the meantime. So by the time the next election cycle come around, if we got to put flex on the coalition, so be it. If we got to put flex on the coalition, by the time the next election come around, we would have already spent 5 years building you up as the next strong man. But you can't just wake up and by dreams that in less than 6 months an election, a man could form a political party and win the election. Even witchcraft, obia, sorcery, even that don't work so. This is how I see it. Right? So y'all don't take setup, young people. Don't take setup. Put your vote where they will matter. And they will matter if you put your vote next to the APNU. I'm telling you that. There's so many examples of hustling that I can give you with people around the Blue and even people around the red, but I don't like your personal with the politics. I keep it general. right? I saw a photo the other day. I never looked for the photo. Most of you might have seen the photo, but the headline was Orniselius is saying that from his understanding, and I dare say his experience, no political party comes from 0 to 51%. And Ornis been around long. Ornis is one of them old type politicians. He's about long. Well, yeah, about are we saying they're in politics about 60 years now? Or 50? How long you about Ornis? Tell them. So they gonna understand what he's saying. Right? Ornis is a political institution like the PNC. Never has it happened in this country to move from 0 to 51%. But back to this photograph. I saw a photograph on a headline. I think it was Newsroom. Vice President met with the APNU defectors. I call it though. Right? According to Newsroom, these, I think it's three of them, were heavyweights. They were heavyweights. It depends, and they jumped ship and so on, and the Vice President eventually met with them. I said this to them. When I look at that photograph, I see a dog handler, puts in dogs, puts, go and hunt, puts, go and hunt in the communities and bring back prey. You know what I'm saying? Puts, go there, slave catchers, go and catch slaves and bring them. Young people, be very mindful, be very careful of how they approach you. African Guyanese youths especially, look around you and ask yourself if that is what you're worth. I see Mrning Playground, they're now hustling to build a bleacher. They're hustling to build a bleacher, a little concrete hollow block structure. It looked like it got about four tiers up, four treaders up, as we say, 4 steps up. Maybe 15 feet at most. Even if I'm generous, let me give it 20. They're now in the 11th hour trying to construct that, to say they give Mrning youths something at the ball field, having taken away all the zinc fencing and so on. They are in Haslington North doing the same thing. Take down the people 10 and 15 feet zinc and put up 4 feet wire mesh, chain link, and they're also going to build another little concrete bleacher to say that they give you something. Is that what you deserve, young people? Is that what you're going to accept? I would hope not. The coalition has plans to do better than that for you. They got sports scholarship, for example. They talk about supporting sportsmen and women monthly, financial and other support. Not waiting until the 11th hour to come and say they're sprucing up a ground for you or they're building a bleacher for you because the elections is on the 12th hour. Ask yourself, is that what you deserve? All of these slave catchers come and tell you, Bana, we in it now, you know. We gonna look out for you. We looking out for ourselves. We're looking out for beetle and an allegation that we were involved in corruption with hundreds of acres of land. We're looking out to beat all kinds of, for ourselves to beat all kinds of allegations against us. Matters before the court that are not proceeding. Because those are the bargaining chips. You see the same thing that the one from Sheriff was trying with Doggy? That playbook has been used already several times. Among many of them were newsroom now talking about heavyweights, former heavyweights of the PNC. Heavy what? Former heavily corrupted, former heavily selfish. And youth man, young lady, don't let it trap you. If they want to be bottom lickers, let it be bottom lickers alone. Don't let it trade you, slave catchers. Don't let it trade you for their own personal aggrandizement. No, place value on your vote. Francis Rockcliffe is making a very good point there. While they're building a bleach at Melanie, the advertising access road for enterprise, $51 million. Billion. In fact, $1 billion. $1 billion compared to maybe $1 million. Y'all checked out. That's the kind of comparisons I want our young people to make. What is happening in the other community compared to what is happening in my community? Do I deserve that or do I deserve better? Do I deserve to be treated equally as the youth in the other community or should I be treated less? And I would rather believe you want equality. Avril, if you're not getting some, please restart your device. Because it's not our problem here. Others are hearing us clearly. Me and Comfort have no big convoluted conversation this morning with young people. Simple terms like talking to y'all. I gotta touch a touchy one. This one touchy bad because it's touchy to me too. Yesterday, youth man was buried in this community. A 60-year-old. Died by gunshots. Murdered just sometime after midnight, a couple days ago, weeks ago, wherever you are, the timing. He was among the 6 persons that were shot up at the back of the village. A 60-year-old. I ain't say he involved in anything. I ain't say he know about anything. But I'm saying that he died as a result of the lawlessness which is permitted to be pervasive in this society under the PPP government. The proliferation of guns in this society under the PPP government. Not another mother, not another parent, not another sibling, not another community must be made to cry for a teenager gunned down, even as an innocent passerby. As in the 60-year-old again, the young lady who was shot in La Penitentiary or wherever by a stray bullet. The lives of our youth must be protected. And do you see the PPP protecting your lives as young people? I certainly haven't seen it. For all the decades I lived under the PPP government, I've not seen them protect the lives of young people. I've seen them protect the killers of young people. I've seen them protect murderers in the Black Clothes and in the Death Squad and in the Phantom Squad. I've seen them protect murderers in the communities who call themselves godfathers and grandfathers and baby fathers and uncles and daddy at the villages and all of that. I've seen them protect them. I've seen them empower and embolden them to create havoc in communities in their own self-interest, but they are allowed to do it because they also function as enablers of the PPP disrespect and abuse of the citizens. Because the PPP keeps communities and keeps citizens in line by the mere threat of unleashing these dogs upon them, the dogs of war. Just yesterday, a tape resurfaced from Barry Ramsey saying, I will slap her just in the front of it. I will get my women to strip and slap her, or slap and strip her. Just a threat like that is intended to cause women not to challenge the status quo. I see another clip resurfaced the other day, or that might be a new one from Barry Max, with the alleged rapist Damla saying, if you go after the PPP, we're going to come after you. We know all your recordings. We know all who you talk to. We know where you live. We know this. We know that. And if you come after, we're going to come after you. And I'm going to ensure that we come after you and you're destroyed. Just threats like that. Are used to oppress people and keep them in line. And allow other people to take advantage on them in the name of being a PPP bad dog. And because me is a PPP bad dog, I could do what I want in my own name too. Is that the society y'all want to live in, young people? Is that the society you want to live in? If you don't want to live in the society, then your vote should not be going to PPP. It should not be going to the Blue Party. Because the Blue Party is just as guilty of creating this kind of environment as the PPP is. They were hands in gloves. A lot of you ain't know nothing about the death squads. You know about the Phantom Squad. You know about the Black Clothes Police. You know about the killer squads and so on. You know about the Raja Khan squad and all of that. You might not know about it. But let old heads like me tell you about it. Because their financing were coming from people like those who are in the Blue Party, those who had the Blue Party, those who had the PPP. Like I said, they were hands in gloves. You think it's Raja Khan alone the financing the disappearance of people in this country? Was a conglomerate, was a coalition of big businesses who are benefiting from the PPP in office. Look around you and you can name them. You know them. I'm sure you're going to hear about them, or if you look at them, you can assess the relationship. The other night we were over at Annandale having that meeting in Market Road by the Third Street there, and I saw a young lady dressed in the most let me say tantalizing. Challenge, she skirt the long, but he slid the tail up by she navel or navel. And she they wearing a midriff. Two of them guys on the road. Oh God. They got meeting. Yo, your parties are cheap. Your party cheap, or your parties are cheap. And I'm sorting my mind. What's the point she's trying to make? Your party cheap. And then it dawned on me. Because the other day, I coming out of Pleasance, I was in Pleasance. We were doing outreach here, house, knocking door and thing, and I was with the vehicle playing audio and so on and so forth. And as I'm coming out, A vehicle is going in with a sound system on the back of it, booming down the place, as we like to say, advertising a PPP meeting. Advertising a PPP meeting. And then I saw a similar phenomena, if I can call it that, for the Blue Party. They're advertising their meetings, just advertising, the meetings. With sound system, boom boxes at the back of vehicles. Because that's what the young African Guyanese like. The young black people like boom boxes. That's what they are attracted to. And any political party that could bring about a boombox to advertise a meeting or host a meeting with a boombox is not cheap. But at the end of the day, do they have the policies that will impact your life and change it the way it ought to be? Do they really have your interests at heart? Do they want to see you stop being labeled a scrape? When being labeled a scrape is beneficial to them, you think they really want to see you come out of the scrape society? Or the classification as a scrape? You think they really want you out of that? When being a scrape is what is beneficial to them? A street corner meeting that we, over the years, all the decades, are accustomed to doing with loudhailers, horn and mic. The new attraction is a boombox. 4 bass, 2 bass, boom, 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 boom. Why not bend over? Let me talk to me needs them. This guy needs pinching. And is that your value, young people? Being lured with lawlessness and smut, is that the value of your vote? This is how you intend for people to take your vote from you? So because the party keeping the meeting there the other night, ain't got no big boom box, stereo set as we call them, and I'm booming down the neighborhood. They're cheap. Did you take a minute to listen to the message so that you could compare it with one of the others that giving you boombox? Because all they're giving you is circus and entertainment, making you clown yourself out. But it's good enough for you. Stop, catch your breath, look around, think about what you really want your future to be. Youth man, young girl, think about living in a society where, first and foremost, you don't have to leave school without matriculating, number one. Number two, you don't have to be knocking around the place even if you matriculate because you can't find employment. Number three, you leave school and you're about the place hopeless because they don't cater for you. That's not the society you should want to live in. You should want to live in a society where there are opportunities even before you leave school, where there are linkages. When I was at secondary school, despite things were bad, as we like to say, by the time you were ready to leave school at fifth form, you already had a place, first and foremost, where you could go and do work, study. And in most cases, because you were matriculating, when that period of work study is finished and you get your CXC results, many of us got the opportunity to stay right there and work. Ask many of your parents and foreparents how they got the job they got. I went for work study, and my education really served me and they kept me on. Nowadays, There aren't many agencies who are willing to take anybody for work study because the school system is so shut that they ain't preparing you for none. The lines are opened. I did say I'm going to open it early. I don't know if this is early enough. But sometimes, as I said, this guy Belcher, this guy really speak what is on my mind. And this morning, I hope I have done it in so simple terms that, you know, the young people could understand what I'm talking about. When y'all look into the casket, was it a casket yesterday? And y'all see a youth man like yourself, young lady, young man, murdered at the age of 16 by guns. Did you stop and shudder to think that this could have been me? Because I live in a society that is a wild, wild west? Where people know or feel that they could just walk into a community, drive into a community, murder people, and nothing will come out of it? Did you look at your compatriot and think this could have been avoided if we had a better governance system, more law and order? Do you think you have the power to change it? I think you do. And there's a value of your vote. The value could change a lot of things that you disagree with. So y'all don't try to win. Y'all going to end up with wind pain and bellyache. Caller, you're live. You're on.
Yeah. Good morning. Can I speak? Yeah. Now, you mentioned something about this noise and so. You know, there's a saying, at least I learned in it's from a student's companion. Empty vessels make the most noise. Now, as we all know, if you want to, you got things to tell people or to do, you don't make a loud noise of it. They said the noise of the market is not the sales of the market. And the young people, I hope that they can take time to revisit. But Kedaki and others, we got to study the level of education that these young people get. Many of them got an education where it was lack of general reasoning, because in school law, like me, I know if you did it, but Minister Jordan and our age group had a thing the name general reasoning, where you learn to reason and according to some of the young people suss out things. But when you ain't got the ability, anything that is being thrown at you, you would accept it. Now moving along. Yesterday, the PPP, the sharing the PPP paraphernalia because it's supposed to got a meeting. And they went into the home of this by Jacobs to serve them the paraphernalia. And because he resisted and chased them out of his yard, he was a guest at the police station. Now, I think that is wrong, because if you go to share your paraphernalia and a person said that they don't want it, you should not engage them and then get the police to be involved. And there again, we see where Guyana is a PPP police state, that if you resist the PPP, they see their dogs on you in the form of the police. And I think this is something that should be looked into, because we do not know how far the PPP will go to antagonize the race, the people in the country, if they try to resist their attempt to accept their rule. And lastly, I hope that at the elections, people are not allowed to take out pictures of who they have casted the ballots for, because I think that the law at GCOM is that the ballot is supposed to be made a private thing. Then lastly, there's a place on the West Coast that is issuing a lot of ID cards for election. That is what's going on the West Coast to Tushin side. So I don't know if that could be looked into and dealt with condemnedly. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call.
Morning, Baraki Doctor. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, all right, children, Guyanese. Guyanese, this is the person that the police were trying to kick down my door on Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Yeah, this is the message. I sent out this morning to the guy in the police force. I really need the police that respond and act unprofessionally. Understand me? I know my grandchild, my grandchild, my couple years old grandchild was crying at the point of time when it was coming down my door, kicking down my door, trying to kick down my door. You understand me? And I want the guy in the police to know, you see, all those road cops that have interrogating people like when people home. I want to know if you got a heart. If you have a heart. You understand me? If you have a heart to do your own people. And the thing is, Indian officers are coming with them, and Indian officers can do nothing. The black police officers, them is the one that's causing this problem in Guyana. Them are the head there, sending them to do the dirty work to their own people. And I call on all Guyanese, if you want stability, come back to this country called Guyana. This great and beloved country called Guyana. What every country today are looking up to. If you want the greatness of this country to return back, we have to vote the PPP out of government. If the PPP sending all these instructions, giving up all these instructions, and the federal told me that they get instructions. There was instructions. My people up there to come at my home. And on social media, I got them around the big 42 from Castle with a red, hot, Rihanna blood jersey. And no police ain't gonna arrest the guy. No police ain't gonna arrest the guy. So you see what people doing to the opponents? That is really bad thing you do to the people. And this guy Jordan coming to my home. What cross my bridge to come and give me a red, bloody, black people blood jersey. You see, these people doing things to Mohammed people and the opposition people. And we do it back to them in a professional way. They're trying to make it look so ugly. But God is in charge. Our God is in charge of everything that's going on in Guyana. And this ABC country that in this country that they may say nothing. They see all the things that this installed government are doing to especially black people and people that do not support them. We need to have records. I have a video when I was kicking on my door, when I was knocking on my door. I have video, but the video is so long, it's not loading. But I can get it loaded. I can delete something off of my phone and get it loaded. I'm going to share it on social media. I'm going to share it. Because this is what police do it. It's not wrong, not fair. And it can't be, it's a ignorant. I'm glad you come in my yard and see our ignorant person. Our ignorant person got the place. And I showed he was telling me ignorant. He must live under some calabash tree or something. Because he appears so low, he can tell that this guy is a poor police guy, very poor. You come into my home, you see my surrounding, and you telling me ignorant. This is what ignorant people just got. This is what ignorant people just got. You understand me? This is what you come in my home and tell me ignorant. Come in my yard and me bag out, tell me ignorant. When I speak out to my
Greetings, residents of Golden Grove and surrounding communities. The Working People's Alliance and APNU invite you to a public meeting this Monday, August 4th at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include Professor David Hines, Aubrey Norton, Dion Abrams, Audriana Thomas, and others. Starting time 6 p.m. Come one, come all. Yes, this Monday, 6 o'clock in the evening, the Working People's Alliance and APNU invites you to a public meeting at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include leader of the APNU, Aubrey Norton, Professor David Hines, Audriana Thomas, and others. Come one, come all.
While we beg, milk and honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children hungry. Tell me what to do. From Burba straight to let them side, it's only lies them they're trying to hide. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been silent while them do wrong. Too long, too long. Them thiefing with a suit and a song. Too long, too long. We paid the price, they played the done. Guyana rise, we must be strong. This can't go on. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Contract sign in the middle of night. No tender, no board, just bribe and spite. Them cousin, them friend, them pot the deal, while pensioners can't afford one meal. The court slow, the press hush, hush, and critics end up on the bus. You talk too loud, they label you bad, but silence now gon' drive we mad. It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We've been watching while they plunder and gone. Too long, too long. It's only rich men they cheering on. Too long, too long. We dream dead while they live strong. Guyana rising with freedom song. This can't go wrong. Nah, this can't go on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who owned the trucks? Who get the land? Who signed the check with blood on hand? Oil money flow, but not to we. Where the hospital, where the subsidy? It's been too long, too long. The PPP must go. We suffering wrong. Stand tall. Time for change comes strong. Too long, too long. The PPP must go. The nation mourning song. One people, one nation, one destiny. Arise up and move along. This can't go on. Nah. Justice, justice, justice now. We tired of bowing down. Freedom, freedom, freedom now. Time's to reclaim we crown. Can't go on. Justice, 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 this now. We tired of bowing down.
Greetings. Greetings. Residents of Golden Grove and the surrounding communities. The Working People's Alliance and APNU invite you to a public meeting this Monday, August 4th at the Golden Grove Market Square. Your speakers include Professor David Hines, Aubrey Norton, Dion Abrams, Audriana Thomas, and others. Starting time 6 p.m. Come. Morning, are you morning? Morning, neighbor, morning. Buenos dias, viginos. How are you doing? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. It is now 17 minutes to the 8 o'clock hour. It is the 4th of August in the year 2025. How have you been? How was your weekend? It feels to me, I feel as if I've had a very long weekend, but I know it has not been a very long weekend for most people. As a matter of fact, I had a very long week because I really worked my neck off for the last week or leading up maybe last month, a whole year. But we're just out of the Emancipation Eve celebrations and the Buxton lineup. The Black is Beautiful concert, cultural evening, and kind of semi-political rally. So I've, in an effort to get that work done, I really extended myself. And coming out of that, after the night of the 31st, we moved right into the 1st of August, where we started last year. We started inviting the elders from the community over to Club Twilight for the elders soiree, where they feast and enjoy, entertainment and so on. And right out of the 1st, I moved into a 50th birth night, a birth night celebration at Club Twilight. Good. And then out of the 2nd, I moved right into the 3rd. Had a big catering and other stuff yesterday. So it really, I've done my lot for the last week or two in terms of work. I see a lot of people see a lot of things happening, especially when it comes to organizations that I'm in a part of, especially when it comes to Buxton. And by extension, on the East Coast, a large extent, no, because the APNU campaign is on the East Coast. I have taken on over the years one of the most difficult tasks. They call it logistics, right? Logistics, that's what they call it. But when we in Buxton and the 1st of August movement have an event, like the Black is Beautiful cultural evening, it is I who take care of things like stage, sound system, stage covering, seating, organizing for things to move from here to there and so on. Yeah, logistics they call it. And this is not logistics sitting at a desk and coordinating thing. This is logistics with me physically involved at every step of the way. As a matter of fact, doing the grunt labor. But a lot of people don't recognize that in terms of they don't see. Or as is usual, people see things happening, they don't pay too much attention to it. They just look at the end product and say, yeah, this was great. Y'all did a great job. Or Tom Jones did a great job. And we generally don't look back and say, but this couldn't happen unless that invisible person who was toiling his ass off was toiling his ass off. But once the tiling is finished, everybody gets to jump in front of the camera and pampersette themselves, as we like to say. And everybody see those who are pampersetting themselves and fail to recognize that there were people down there who are toiling your ass off to ensure that this happened. It is the same thing that happened and will continue to happen in politics, because the worker bees are the majority and they will work their ass off to ensure that people get into office with the hope of good governance to start with. I usually tell you my main aim is to ensure that we get people who can really manage the resources of this country so that every citizen can be happy. And if every citizen can be happy with the government that we have and they treat it justly and fairly, that in itself is a big reward for me. And I think I'll fight up after that, because I will be among the happy citizens benefiting from the resources of the country. That's my quest. Trust me. People believe that my quest is to some big ministerial position or some highfalutin position, some high-paying job, and all of that. But those things will serve me little if when I look around me, I see poverty still. They will serve me little if when I look around me, I see suffering of the masses still. They will serve me very little if I look around me and see my neighbors are in sufferation, let me say, when I, based on my affiliation to any government, I'm having an easy time. It will bother me. And so that is why I continuously say what I want to know is that we can have an administration that takes care of the need of everybody. And so I quite frankly am happy that Orbinon decided that, hey, this coalition's policy is going to be people first. People first. I am sold on that dream. Let me call it that. And I hope you all buy into it too. Because from where I sit and what I see and what I know, Guyana is going to be a way better place than the PPP has made it for the time that they've been in political office. With the new coalition in office, Guyana is definitely going to be a way much better place. But let me take an aside, a meander I call it. I like to meander sometimes. Remember Mondays is this and that Monday. I see somebody masquerading on my life as James Bond. Anybody could use any name on social media and say anything for the greater part. Some people on the alter ego just find themselves on social media as all kinds of things. And I am therefore saying I will not be responding too much to that which is representative as or represented on this live as James Bond. But I will issue this challenge. If it is indeed James Bond, send me a WhatsApp. I'll send you the link to come on live. And let us talk about what the PPP has done for the youths of this country, and more specifically Melanie. I give you that challenge. I want the viewers to be able to look at you in your eyes like they look at me in my eyes when I speak. Look at you in your face when I speak, when you speak. And let us talk what the youths of what the PPP has done for youths across this country. But if it's an imposter, if it's a bot, if it's a spineless creature, I ain't got time to spend on that. Time will tell, and time has already told a lot. Good? Now every time I just got the time. With people, quite frankly, who have not, in my understanding of things, been a positive influence to youths and this society. And so sometimes I choose not to respond. Sometimes I choose to respond because I get teachable moment. Every moment is a teachable moment. But we can't continue to be taking our time and responding to the bullshit. Y'all excuse me language, but I needed to use it, and I deliberately use it. Bullshit that the PPP and their representatives coming through at us every day. Because if we continue to find the time to respond to them, then we're finding time to get our messages out there. And they quite understand that. And that's their intention. I just had to travel the road between Sideline and Milwaukee to the north of the village here. And the interconnection of that concrete strip that they built to the bitumen road at Middlewalk. As a matter of fact, both ends, the connection to the concrete strip also at sideline, it's crumbling. It is crumbling. It is crumbling. And I'm asking myself, they got a set of people running around this blasted place, talking about infrastructural development that the PPP has facilitated. And we used to walk on mud dam, and now we get concrete to walk on. But these people ever, do you ever stop to think that you deserve better and you should have gotten better? This concrete road I'm telling you about has not been built a year. 6 months tops as far as I remember. And it is crumbling. Like many around this country, like many around Buxton. It is crumbling. It is tagged at billions, at millions of dollars. Money which taxpayers will have to repay. And I dare argue in under 10 years, it is going to be back to square one, back to basic. But we hear people talking about infrastructural development. The PPP, I used to work on my dam, now I get concrete. Yes, it's an improvement. But is it the best? Is it what you desire, or is it what you deserve? Because I'm hungry, I'm expected to eat dog shit. Because I'm hungry, I'm expected to eat dog shit. If you are saying it sounds ridiculous, flip the script and look at the nonsense you are talking about PPP and development. Because you crave development, or you desire development, or because the development is necessary, you're supposed to accept mediocrity and sing praises? And making no sense. Y'all got to be clearly products of prayer. Satire girl, don't sing prayer, no child left behind. Every day I see the impact of that nonsense that prayer has done to the people. No child left behind. Our population has no critical thinking skill. At least jag your children. Anybody who born at it, jag your PPP to current. They ain't got no critical thinking skill. I don't know how old James Bond is. My guess is that James Bond, for the most part, must be born somewhere under the PPP time or just before the PPP time. But when I listen to James Bond, all I hear is some third or fourth or fifth rate liar, who, as far as I'm concerned, and remember, has not been able to practice in this country anyhow. When I hear the likes of Sandy like to talk about how brilliant he is. Book smarts and street smarts. And I hear these people run out into the public and talk nonsense. It aggravates me to know that, quite frankly, they masqueraded previously as representative of the people I love so much. And even including myself. When you look at these banners who people just look up to and see as celebrity and see as this and see as that because they got on the most expensive suit and the shoes shine and so on, and they always wear goon and so on. When they open their mouth, you ask yourself, if one for the suit, what people would have seen, man? If it wasn't for the suit, what people would have seen? How is it development? When a community center ground, football field, sports ground, whatever you want to call it, how is it development? When that facility was enclosed by a 10-feet high fence, and that fence was reduced to 4 feet. How does development, tell me? Show me the critical thinking behind that which dictates or brings you to the point of thinking that is development. Let me explain why it's not development. Check around the world, you will see facilities like those, they always have very high fences. Because it has become a norm, because what? If you're playing cricket and you hit a ball, the fence must be able to prevent it from going over. Because if it goes over, it can cause damage, it can cause destruction, it can cause loss. The ball itself could disappear. A football, you kick it. If the fence is too low, it flies over the fence. You have an event, which is supposed to be a paired event. If the fence is too low, they say when your fence too low, all kind of things, just walk over it. So those are at least 3 negatives for reducing the fence from 10 feet to 4. Secondly, or third, fourth, fifthly, whichever one. Those venues are often used as the community stadium, where private citizens many times promote events that require you to pay a fee to know what's happening in there. If you reduce it to 4 feet and make it concrete, you remove zinc, you remove opaque to transparent. I hope they understand the term opaque. The transparent, opaque, you can't see through. Transparent, you could see through. So you remove the thing that will prevent people having a free show and put a thing that will allow them to have a free show. How is that development? How does that help the economy of the residents in the community and the community economy as a whole? How? Y'all tell me. But y'all want something on your name. I sell my soul to the PPP for this happened to this happened for this community. You don't care that you sell your soul in exchange for shit. But I make this happen, or I make that happen. I made a lot of things happen as a social activist, as a political activist. I made a lot of things happen. I make the PPP follow the WPA, especially to every community that we went to 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. When I went to Mrning and I showed them the gullies that Melonians were forced to endure on a daily basis, they went to Mrning and they promised them road. They delivered eventually. I'm not sure about the quality, but they delivered eventually. And I am saying this morning, my intervention caused them to go to Mrning and deliver. I went to Victoria and do the same thing. They follow me. They deliver again. I can't speak to the quality of what they deliver, but they deliver. And that doesn't give me a feeling of entitlement. It might give me a feeling of accomplishment. I forced the government to do what governments are expected to do anyhow. I force the government to do what governments are expected to do. When I call it the protest in front of Buxton, and the whole PPP cabinet left Georgetown on the same day and come to the Buxton bargon, I made that happen. I made that happen. Me and the political party I serve, I'm a member of whoever you want class else, we made that happen. Buxtonians went there and they got land. And other people too, from the neighboring community, they went and they got land allocation. They went and they get business grant. Small contractors a few days or weeks after, a whole set of them congregated at Tipperary Hall. They get contracts. Again, I'm saying what they got. I can't attest to the quality of what they got because the contracts, for example, didn't come down too much. You think the PPP could come to me and tell me that I have to deliver my community or the region to them because of that? You think any y'all could come and give me that kind of nonsensical reasoning? Like the Rasta diplomat that called me in the local government election to tell me, Kiraki, I know you love your people. I know what you're doing for your people. But partner, work with the PPP and you're going to get more to do for the people. Y'all mad or y'all ain't good? The other day I made a statement here. Can't remember the exact statement. But it was in the interest of the nation, and somebody were to ask me, oh, I said, give me the Ministry of Labor and let me fix the wrongs of the Guyanese people. And somebody asked me if the PPP offers me the Ministry of Labor, if I will work with them. Hell no. They got to offer me the Ministry of Labor and close the door behind. The PPP doesn't deserve to be anywhere close to government because they are a set of thieves. And I am saying to you, I'm putting it to you like the lawyers would say, that the whole host they were running and hug up the PPP and singing praises to the PPP are just like them, a set of thieves, a set of gluttonous, covetous, unpatriotic criminals. That is what y'all are. Why are you going to prop up a set of people who have done and continue to do so much harm to the economy of this country and to the citizens of this country by extension? Huh? Y'all tell me that. Tell me that. Lest you forget. And Vincent Jordan will come on Thursday and he can tell you whether I right wrong or right sick in my head. And I know he's on the live too, so he can take the opportunity to do it right now. But before I do that, Vincent Jordan turns 68 today. I hope I get the age right. Me and my parents. I forget it when you forgive me. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Jordan. Big up yourself. I wish you many, many long years of health and strength so you can continue to poke holes in what the PPP masquerades as their economic policies. Even if it's a one thing part, I want you to stay wrong long. But I know that there are many other things to be enjoyed in this life. So enjoy them as you stick around. I think it's Abigail from Golden Grove. June, this girl from Golden Grove also is celebrating her birthday today. So I know if you are going to say great minds are born on the same date or day, whatever. But I assume she has to be a good person, a great person, a good thinker. Because she born maybe around the same time with Vincent Jordan. At least by date. Right? So big up yourself on that. But back to this thing, in case you all forget. The PPP sell out what I will continue to believe was one of Guyana's most prosperous or promising financial institutions when they got into office. What is now Republic Bank used to be Guyana Cooperative Bank, if I remember it correctly, or the Co-op Bank, whatever we used to call it. Do your research and you will find out when the Co-op Bank was divested, I think there's the term that they're using. They had assets. They had assets. And those assets could have been properly managed to improve the success rate of that bank. I think even the Guy Bank, I think I heard Mr. John talking about the other day. When he said, if you look at the bank's portfolio itself, the bank was a success story. What made it appear as though it was failing was those loans that the government had taken to distribute to farmers, etc., and the farmers reneged on paying them back. My interpretation. Well, I remember the PPP sold that bank with all of its assets to Republic Bank. I had an account there, and I withdrew my money. I said, this is nonsense. I always remember, I think Bonita Bone Harris, Sister Bonita Harris was a director, and she gave up her directorial seat or a board member something because of that nonsense. The PPP sold Guyana Printers, the PPP sold GPC, Guyana's only pharmaceutical manufacturing company. The Litco plant, Livestock Industry Development Company, Litco, where farmers used to send their milk from the dairy cattle to be pasteurized and distributed, sold. Somebody packaging water inside. At least this is what it started off as. 10% shares in GT&T. That was bringing Guyana foreign currency, bringing Guyana money without you having to lift a thumb. Sold. Up to now, I personally can't tell you who it was sold to. You know what I think is the common denominator in all of those dispositions? The PPP. Their friends and corruption. I pray for the day when a thorough investigation is going to be done into the disposition of all of these companies, and you could go deep down into the belly of the transactions and see where the PPP friends and family and the PPP as a political party is reaping continued benefit from those transactions. A lot of profitable agencies of this country, assets of this country, have been divested to friends of the PPP for the PPP to get a cut of the profit and to continue, therefore, in or out of Guyana to suck the blood of Guyanese and their assets. Fast forward to 2025 or even 2024, we got two power ships, single source and rented, to provide electricity for us, reliable electricity. Number one, it's not reliable. Number two, it's expensive. Number three, the company involved is one that has had a long list of questions over its business ethics and character. In short, it has been accused several times of engaging in corrupt practices with clients. Any question why the PPP chose that one? I have none. The PPP doesn't like to do business with organizations that have ethics and credibility They do business with any organization that they can corrupt or engage in corruption with. And so we have two power ship minting money, and so the PPP minting profits. Find out who is supplying the fuel to those power ships. And then come back and let's talk. All those of you who are jumping around the place, why are you jumping around and tell us that? Here we are now. First, I'm seeing a big supervisory contract for GPL, I think. Management contract for GPL. And deep down in that, we're seeing the proposed sale of GPL. Sale of GPL to who? A company of questionable character and credibility. Again, who stands to benefit? The PPP and their corrupted friends and family and cronies. Check the trend. They look at assets that are considered essential services in any nation, and they divest them off to their friends because they are right there in the food chain when those assets are divested. And so if Guyanese want to continue to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride that PPP is taking them for, y'all have fun. Don't raise your voices against the GPL sale. Don't ensure that you put every single one of your votes for the APNU so that the GPL sale, among other things, could be stopped. Corruption could be stopped in its tracks. And even if a determination is made that the best thing to do is to divest GPL, it is done transparently. Don't put all your votes behind the APNU. Continue to criticize the APNU and call for the APNU to apologize for its failings in the past under different leadership to this one. Continue to live in the past and give the APNU a bad name and be asked and hold firm to a position until they apologize. We ain't supporting them. We rather throw our votes all around the place with no guarantee that that will remove the PPP from office. So in short, continue to say you're prepared to cut your nose and spoil your face because you ain't going to give the coalition your vote because you ain't get no apology. Or you didn't have your way. Guyanese, I'm saying it for the millionth time. The one aim each and every citizen in this country should have right now is to get the PPP out of office. If that aim is to get the PPP out of office, there's only one political group in this country currently that stands the best chance of getting the PPP out of office. It is the APNU. Take your chances. Put all your votes, every single one of your votes behind the APNU. Is the only guarantee you got of removing the PPP. But when you want put a sprinkle in here and a sprinkle in there and a sprinkle in there, the law says that the group with the largest block of votes. Then if all the others add up, becomes more than that. So long as they have the largest singular block of vote, they form in the government. If you sprinkle your vote here and you're sprinkling vote there and you're sprinkling vote there, who you think going to retain the largest block of vote in this country? And therefore, how you think you're getting the PPP out of office? We like to say we big, but we ain't stupid. But many of us be big and stupid. Stop living in the past asking the coalition for apologies. Like I like to say, Anthony B say, you don't have to say you're sorry. You don't have to say you're sorry. For the damage has already been done. It's time for us to pick up the pieces and move forward. I tell people every day, don't tell me sorry. Because if you know that you can poke me in the eyes and come back and tell me sorry and everything is going to be good, you're going to poke me in my eye anyhow. You're going to poke me in my eyes and then come back and say sorry. And you're forgiven. And you walk away thinking, what a damn jackass. Yeah, he's still bleeding. Yeah, he's still hurting. He's still feeling pain. And them words didn't bother me at all because I get the satisfaction in my heart that I did to him exactly what I wanted to do to him. Why are you holding on this emotional thing? Yeah, I guess it's sorry. We think we should apologize to the feelings of the coalition. We think we should apologize to the feelings of the APNU. Abi was not the head of the APNU when it failed according to your conclusions. We think Granger need to come out and say sorry. It's going to help Abi because why are you still tying Abi to Granger? That string of connection has been cut a long time ago since Granger became a former president. And worse yet, since the Granger period is totally over now because Granger doesn't have control of any list anymore. The parliamentary period is finished with. This is a new chapter we're writing. Under the leadership of R.B. Norton, Joyata Finance, David Hines, Ganesh Maipal, Kiraki Amsterdam, Rysdale Ford, Dexter Todd, and a whole long list of people who are definitely competent and ethical. And we have among them a whole long list of people who have a cultural grounding. So they know what's the problem. They know what it takes to fix the problem. But we're still talking about running behind somebody who don't understand the difference between cook-up and kitchery. Who don't understand the difference between indentureship and slavery. Who don't understand the difference between enslavement and being a slave. Open your eyes, man. We need to wise up. We need to wise up. There's only one path. I mean, they said they got several paths to one destination. I also heard them say shortcut the skill. There is only one path to righting the wrongs in this country for the citizens of this country. And it starts with getting rid of the PPP. Getting the hell out, getting rid of them. And if that is the sole aim this time around to get rid of the PPP, there's only one path to get rid of the PPP. We ain't talking about controlling the PPP. We're talking about getting rid of the PPP. And to get rid of the PPP, you got to vote solidly for the AP and you put them out of office. If you think you can control the PPP by a minority parliament, then again, you're behaving big and stupid. Because a minority government is still a government. And if the PPP is there as a minority government, then my bet is that the PPP will do what the PPP does best. Create its own forms of corruption so that it can have its way. Y'all decide. You want to control the PPP, or you want to get rid of the PPP and really take control of the assets of this nation so that it can benefit the citizens of this nation. Y'all decide on that. I know what I want. This is the 11th hour. We got approximately a month to an election. Everybody needs to get on board and let the other person understand there's one sure way of getting rid of the PPP. Vote for APNU. That should be the message. Morning, noon, and night. There's one way of getting rid of the PPP. Vote for the APNU. There's no other political construct that can give you the result. None other. Why are we still pussyfooting and masquerading? Because me and no one, because me and no one is neighbor. And he lashed me pig when he go in the yard rooting up. That man ain't fit for president. Because you see how the man is going to screw up when he walking. You see the man is dance like a robot. That is so important to you. Right now, if you bring a snake with 4 heads, and give me a guarantee that it will remove the PPP from office, I supporting the snake. If you bring a 1 eye, 1 foot, 1 hand man to me, or woman, I said this is the answer for removing the PPP from office, I supporting it. Because the problems of this country can only be fixed when we see the backs of the PPP. And anybody who thinks otherwise, sorry. We're on the same trajectory. Sorry, we ain't seeing things the same way. You're entitled to your opinions. But sorry, I think you're behaving big and stupid. And anybody who fall in them slave catchers that barjag your hooks the other day and say, go and deliver region 4. More big and stupid. Because you're following your oppressors. You're following your slave catchers. You're following people who are selling you to the slaughter. I issue in the challenge again. Any one of y'all, as a matter of fact. Any one of y'all, as a matter of fact, who are supposed to be representing the people of Region 4 and failed miserably and want to talk about delivering Region 4, hit me up. I'm going to send you the link. Let's have a public discourse about the youths of Region 4 and Region 4 as a totality. Any aspect of Region 4 you want to talk about, come let me talk about it. I'm concerned about development for young people. And one year they were saying for sell old damn playground to people for house lots. And the only thing one year I'm concerned about is what kind of snacks they're in the fridge. Now give me a break. This is the Guyanese morning time. I'm the host, Kida Kiamsam. It's 27 minutes past 8 o'clock. The lines are opened. The lines are opened. Put me in government. And I dare say I dare say that I can and will address issues to the people, Melanie. Melanie got a big material shopping complex. A big material shopping complex from the Borneo era. And these people
Morning, Kadak.
talking,
You hearing me?
hold the line, please. Mute your mic. And these people talking about development for Melanie and youths of Melanie. And that place is not the site of a modern shopping complex. Well, Lusignan get a modern market, Tama. And Montreal is in phase three of developing a market. And what used to serve Melanie has fallen to pieces and left to fall to pieces. And the PPP come telling y'all they got y'all interest at that and got a jackass with his blinders on. Money blinders on. Telling people they got the interest in Melanie at that. I go to hell. Caller, you're on. Speak.
Morning, Kadaki. Morning, listeners. You know, I cringe when I hear intelligent people, so-called intelligent people. According to you just now, you said book sense and street sense is two different sense. But these people who are running out of political entities, and they're coming out and saying, when we become government, mathematically it ain't happening. Why fooling yourself and continue to fool others? It will never, ever happen mathematically. And as Agunkali Dr. Jordan say, how can you divide a minority to become a majority? And it's all selfish reasons. It's all about self. I could put in my portfolio, I was presidential candidate. I was a prime ministerial candidate. It's all for my CV. That is how I'm seeing it right now because these people know to themselves they will never ever become president or prime minister of the country. They know that. They know that. And it's all selfish reasons. Let me move on quickly. I see Friday something happen. I'm going to say this to anybody who listens who tell themselves that they're my friend. Anytime you insult my wife or my kids or anybody, especially the female in my family, there is where the line's drawn. And don't expect for us to cross path and I gonna put my hands in your hands and greet you. It will never happen. I am so happy that that person will never ever become the president of Guyana because they would have been, for the reasons of national development, these people have made contribution to the country, so we still have to keep them in the fold. Hell no. The line is drawn when people disrespect your significant other and your children, and to extension, the female in your family. That's all I have to say. People, you get the message.
I don't want y'all come and talk in parables. Sometimes I too dunce. The lines remain, the lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. You're tuned to the guy in his morning time. We are soon going to establish. Call you on. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. Good morning, everyone in the Guyanese diaspora. Good morning to all Guyanese. Can you hear me clearly, Mr. Amsterdam? Yes? Good. I noticed this morning you were talking about corruption, and one of the common themes in your opening address this morning, presentation this morning, had to do with money trails, because corruption ultimately has a bottom line. Either you are denying someone or you are empowering your favorites. And in so doing, you're violating persons' human rights, and you're also killing persons, marginalizing persons, discriminating against persons in order to facilitate those things. I want to focus on a topic that I've been focusing on. I'm campaigning all the time. In the last few discussions on this show, namely the Magnitsky's Act and the sanctions against May Thomas, because May Thomas is properly the PPP, as well as the Mohammeds and ETAL. On October the 18th, 2017, Canada, the country of Canada, signed into its laws a law called the Justice for Victims of Corruption and Foreign Affairs Officials Act, better known as the Sergei Magnitsky's Law. Canada. Canada is the headquarters of the Nova Scotia Bank. Nova Scotia is headquartered in Toronto as well as Ontario. There are also Magnitsky's Acts in the United Kingdom. Parliament over there passed a law, the Magnitsky's Act, as well as the European Union. So, Congress, the British Parliament is part and parcel to the Magnitsky's Act, and so is Canada, and so is the European Union. All of those central banks, they are now party to, obligated to comply with the Magnitsky's Act, because the intent and the common theme is the same. It intends to have the same effect on Mohammed, May Thomas, and all those in between, include Citizens Bank and the rest of them. So when we see that the Demerara Bank and GBTI are making these appraisals against persons, I think that's a good thing, because we've been fighting corruption for a long time. And we now have the tool, and it's been weaponized against elements of the corruptive apparatus. And while some of those are saying, well, how are they going to tell us about our sovereignty? No, we've been complaining about corruption for the longest time. It was President David Arthur Granger who allowed the corruption aspect to be properly addressed in Guyana, when he allowed the Americans to come in and deal with corruption. And corruption, that's why they don't want Leader Norton to mention the word corruption in the National Assembly. But we own it today with the Magnitsky's Act. And we must squeeze it. I want to move on very quickly. Now, the global concept intended in the United States Magnitsky's Act for sanctions against Mohammed and May Thomas, and therefore most international investment banks and institutions are by law restricted from facilitating fiduciary transactions with such institutions which refuse to comply with these sanctions, namely the Mohammeds. I say again, and I said it before, GCOM in particular erred or is in error from allowing the Mohammeds Win Party together with Anug and the rest of them to be qualified on nominations day. I'll tell you how, and I said it before then, but I'm saying it again. It is not by coincidence Madame Ambassadress said immediately after nominations day that if Guyana allows the Mohammeds and those in the party affiliation to go into the National Assembly, there will be problems. First fact, why do we think the Mohammeds were asked to disassociate themselves from the gas to shore pipeline and the International Bank and the American Congress? Called Madam Ambassador when she was being approved to be the ambassador to Guyana and questioned her as to why the Mohammeds were removed from the gas to shore pipeline and financing. Those were the sanctions beginning then on the Mohammeds, to the tune of $2 point something billion. Sanctions are already on the Mohammeds and international institutions are restricting participation from the Mohammeds and Guyana. Guyana has already been restricted on the gas to shore pipeline. If I'm wrong, prove to me I'm wrong. But that's why Mohammed had to pull out. That's the first fact, undeniable fact. So Clark Singh and GCOM, Clark Singh knows, and the GCOM commissioners know that they are in violation of the Magnitsky Act, and it's something that they are signed on with. Canada, the entire European Union, Australia, United States, and Caribbean countries that are using these banks are party to the Magnitsky Act and have to be compliant. And GCOM, by providing a gateway to circumvent, are also complicit in the violation. And we should not stand idly by and allow GCOM to validate this national security threat further. It's already been established to be a national security threat. That's why these banks are behaving the way they are. So it could not be allowed for GCOM to sit there and allow the Win Party to circumvent the process. That can't be allowed. And then complain about it after, while we are allowing the Win Party to enter nominations, validate an entire list of persons. The banks are complaining. If the banks are complaining, what does that say about the process? If the United States, if the international banks have already restricted the Mohammeds, then what does that say about the process? So the process is already gone afoul. And so while we are saying Clark Singh must go, I don't know how we are hesitant from saying these things additionally. If we are saying Clark Singh must go, then isn't this one of the areas in which she has additionally erred? And we must ensure that, I can't hear you, Mr. Amsterdam, you said something? Sorry. Oh, you weren't talking to me. Okay. So isn't this an additional area which she must not be allowed to continue? So I heard Leader Norton in Berbice. I thought Leader Norton in New Amsterdam, that was one of his best campaign presentations of his manifesto, of our manifesto ever. I think he did an excellent job in Berbice. I think he's becoming more, he's getting closer to that day, and he's becoming more fine-tuned. And I was so proud to hear him present to our people in New Amsterdam and the things which he had to tell us. Everything was a plus. And I'm also glad, pleased to see Dr. Terence Campbell alongside Leader Norton. That's a good thing. And I'm also glad, we are also glad, many of us who are working on the ground wherever we are elated to see that Jaretta Finance, an indigenous woman, is also fully on board the campaign, together with Ganesh Maipal and Dr. Hines and Mr. Amsterdam and all of us. We've got a super team, and we're going to win this thing. We've got to convince those in the Win Party that the money tree is drying up. Mohammed may have some money, but he can't get to it. And he is already in deep waters. He's been in deep waters, but they've been hiding it from us. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get rougher. It's going to get tougher. And no matter how many lawyers he bring out, corruption will be dealt with. It will be dealt with. And the money tree is drying up. Don't waste your vote on Mohammed. Get on a winning team. Put your vote where your vote could get maximum effect with APNU. Don't waste your vote. Muhammad is a pipe dream. He ain't never did nothing for us and ain't gonna do nothing for us. Ask Muhammad what he got to say about Makkah and the property they got over there. It seems like Muhammad is more concerned about gay rights than the rights of Guyanese across the board. And nothing wrong with those who want to support gay rights, but it seems as if he's more encouraged along those areas. I wonder why. But sanctions will be continued. Thank you for accepting my call.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open at 60 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. You tune to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Call you on. Good morning.
Good morning, Good morning to viewers. I want to piggyback on your last caller. A quick question. Are you aware, or are the Guyanese aware of a recent postponement of visitors' visa to Guyana, from Guyana to the U.S.? Yes or no?
No, I'm not aware. I'm aware that prices will be changing for visas.
All right. Well, that is the latest information. There has been a suspension of visitors' visas from Guyana to the U.S. Reason B, this is the beginning. Reason B, the administration, the installed regime refused. They refused to give up the information of all Guyanese who left Guyana and has not returned. Now, things are going to get even worse. If only one seat will be won by the Mohammed's party, just one, just one seat he has to get, the entire government will be sanctioned. Anybody who in Guyana can't come direct. They have to in transit. They have to take special flights out of Guyana. And this will not only be from the US. The Canadians will ban travel. The British will ban travel. And all other countries that is associated with the Mrning Act. Guyanese, I guess, the APNU, Mr. Amsterdam, you, Mr. Hines, y'all better warn the Guyanese people what is in store for them post-election, post-1st of September. It will be a mess. And we'll now see most of the PPP supporters who used to holler, Bornum ban this, Bornum ban that, we'll see really and truly what a ban will be. And we all have to run with that same narrative. It was the PPP, because this is a trick that they didn't plan on. They didn't plan that this was going to backfire on them by encouraging Mohammed to run so he can split the APN votes. It was a trick, but they didn't see this coming. And all those young people who jump in on the bandwagon, the little piece of job that you got now, you soon will have it, because they will victimize you and you will just lose it. You're gonna be back in the deep, because when you split the AP and you vote, it's going right back to the PPP, right? The little teacher job that you had, the little public service job you had, the bank job you got, all gone, because they're gonna victimize you, because they see you as an obstacle, and the retribution gonna start. So all the little flingings you got right now, it soon will be gone. So you don't you can't say that you weren't warned. Mr. Gadaki, I think you're doing a wonderful job. I think we have time, and we need a lot more PR. A lot, a lot, a lot. Mr. Norton should have more and more programs on the internet, not only on meetings, because most people are on their phones, they're looking at YouTube. So we have to do a lot of PR programs, highlighting issues, highlighting the manifesto, aiming for the younger generation. Because as I said before, it ain't got one party in this world can make it to be government without the poor. The poor are the masses. Middle class is not the masses. The rich is not the masses. The poor is. And this is an example that you don't take them for granted. Never do. You will never get there. Have a good day, Mr. Kadaki. Keep up your good work.
Thank you for your call. That is why I said to people, y'all don't talk to me in parables. I see somebody is saying to me, the caller that was talking about the insult to someone's wife was actually referring to Conan Marshall insulting the Indo-Guyanese wife of Aubrey Norton. Is that what I saw? I'd like to make a confession. I don't even know who Aubrey Norton's wife is. It never interested me, and so I don't know. I never tried to find out. I am the kind of person who believes that a man's family must be left clear of his politics. You want to fight me, fight me. I offer myself for leadership of this country. Let we fight. But keep my family out it. Because once they're going to come after me family, it's not going to be nice. I guess it's the same thing the other person was saying. But the lines remain on 62593 is the number to call. But here, let me make a pitch now. If I interpret the information correctly, all the merrier. Aubrey Norton has shown to this country that he's capable of coexisting with other ethnicities. So we are got to fear. We are got to fear. Indo-Guyanese, we are got to fear. His prime ministerial candidate is an Amerindo-Guyanese offspring. We are got to fear. Again, I'm saying the list of candidates being offered by the coalition is by miles, leaps and bounds superior in quality than that offered by any other political party, especially the PPP. Voice notes, we got some of them. Let me play them.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. If this is the case concerning the visas and all of these things, why did GCOM accept the Mohammed into the what you call it, in the cabinet, the running for the presidency? Why did GCOM accept him? He should not have been accepted there. You understand? So I think GCOM is a part of all of this problem that is there now and is to become. GCOM is a part of it. Bye.
Karaki, good morning to you and our listeners from the diaspora. listeners from the four corners of the globe. Kadaki, my contribution this morning will be very short and witty. It's a warning. Guyanese, God give all you a chance to choose over good or evil. If you choose good, good will follow you. If you choose evil, well, you eat the bread that the devil eats. So, well, you have a choice. Kadaki, I'm out and listening.
Call on, good morning.
A pleasant good morning to you, Mr. Kadaki, and your viewing audience, listening and viewing audience. The previous call that called just now is on point. And to answer the question that the on the voice note that you played just now, why did GCOM allowed the Mohammeds to enter? You have to understand that there's a democratic right for anyone who is vying pro- to contest an election has the moral right to do so, but within the confines and the laws that is in relation to the sanctions, it's another matter in terms of judgment from that aspect. However, I would like the Guyanese people to understand this fact is that Mohammed as a political party is placed there to give people an option to decide whether they want to dwell within the former administration or the current one. But outside of that, it is telling us that that third party, it's a mechanism crafted and designed by the PPP's party to ensure that they take away the votes will that will emanate from the PNC party or the APNU party, so that in the event of an elections decision, the votes that the the voters will cast, they will be interrupted by the third party. It's a well orchestrated plan by this boy. I like to call him the boy. Jack Dio, he's a boy. Figuring that people do not understand his strategies and his plan. If anybody don't understands him, well, I do. I'm on to him. I can read him like a book. He is doing this kind of politics in a manner that he will, is causing distractions to the people, so that whenever the third party takes the vote away from both the PPP and the PNC or the APNU, it will put an impact in such a manner that devastate the opposition party, so that he will outcome victorious in the upcoming elections. And what my sister have called in and say is she's on point, and I'm going to reiterate her words. I'm warning the Guyanese people, if they want a change for betterment in this country, with the current behavior that is going on in our country with respect to governance by this political party, the PPP, they must reconsider that if you want a change, you have to ensure you vote the APNU, because this is the only party that is clean in terms of having to rule this country and to not allow any sanctions to be placed on this country. Mr. Kadaki, thank you for having me. God bless you. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you very much for having me.
We're still playing voice notes. Let me see the next one.
Good morning, Kadaki, and good morning to the entire listening public. I resorted there because I ain't getting in anyhow. Now in this time here, last week they had a meeting of the PPP in the Amstel. Anyway, well, you know, a lot of the young people went across because of the house slave who engaged the police to go into Jacob's yard. And a lot of them used to do this one-day work. Anyway, another PNC who turned a PPP operative who worked in the 2020 election as a superintendent, she was hired than a PO. Anyway, she suddenly found a black woman that the PPP is good and she is a Muslim now. Moving along. So the PPP gave her a contract about 2 weeks ago, and she had people cleaning up. She put all her girls them all in the trench, cleaning out and so. Anyway, they did a good job. Added to that, there were some trenches like this uncle ain't able going with the arthritis knee. So they got some young boys and they put them in there and promised to pay them. However, when the boys finished doing the work, they were being given the biggest money that the PPP would give to black people. $5,000, and the boys were a night to see the amount of work what they do for this $5,000. Anyway, so when time came for the meeting, they decided to take the PPP jersey and start to lash the road with it. While that was going on, the house slave called to the police station and informed the police, the political murderers of people in this country, the politicized PPP force, and they came down, and the accusation he made on these youths that they were around the place smoking and trading in weed financially. Now, when people, things like this go out against the young black people, when you try to talk to them, they don't want to listen. Because if this money, and the thing is that the house slave is a known drug vendor and a known drug user, because he does sell weed and he does smoke it. He sells it and he smokes it. So I don't know how skillet gonna tell kettle it black, the bottom black. And now there are lots of people who suddenly jumping into the parties. We have got to watch them, because many of them openly spoke against Norton, and you see now they're jumping and they spoke against other political factions, and they're there. Another thing is that I see where the purple team is now picketing GCOM, and the purple team doing as though. I want the purple team to remember that under your leadership as a WPA, you had people who started the protest at GCOM about 4 years ago, and none of them choose to come out to stand up with us. Eventually, PNC came along and stood there. And if the entire population had decided, the opposition, whosoever, had decided to come out and give us strength at GCOM in calling for clean voters list and biometrics, I think we would have been on a better footing. So, Purple, we were there. We stood the course for 3-4 plus years. We been there. We do that. So it's not y'all doing it. And the last thing is, in this time, I want people, when you go to the polls, you go without your phones so that you can cast your ballot in privacy for whoever you want to cast your ballots for. So that is me today. Bye-bye.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Kadaki. I have one question. I'd like to know if it is wrong or if it is illegal. As far as I'm seeing or hearing, is that there are a lot of people out there who register and the name and photograph being changed to different locations and stuff like that. is it possible the APNU could set up a point of where people can go and check with them to see if their names or their photograph being changed, and the party, which is APNU, can take records of that and try to take action with that. Meaning they have to set up location at different places. For example, like Buxton Line Tap, BV Line Tap, Pleasance, wherever. Just a small location. It don't have to be a big building. So people can just drop by and ask for them to check and see if their names are there. Because some people don't want to go to the different, let's say, go to the computer or go and check this here and flash back to this and that. And I think that would help them if they could just see someone there and the person help them quickly. And at the same time, APNU would get that information, how many people are being moved around from place to place. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I am sure that voice note was echoing to hell. Maybe the same thing I would wonder. I just realized my mic was up. But let me respond to the call who was saying that he has been getting this information that people's ID, there are some confusions, let's say, about people's registration in terms of them being moved from voting district and photos being changed and so on and so forth. My number is known, 6225933 is the number. You can send me a WhatsApp about this matter. Anybody who has a matter, anybody who wants to know where they're voting, anybody wants to know if they're on the voters list and so on, just send me a WhatsApp with your ID number and I can find that for you. If you don't want to send your ID number, send your first and last name and your date of birth and I can find that for you. Okay, because there's an app on the GCOM website. Like the caller said, not everybody wants to go there and not everybody understands what they have to do. I did that infomercial telling you how to search the GCOM website to find your name on a list. But if you don't want to do that or if you're incapable of doing that, just send me 6225933. That's WhatsApp number. Send me your information. First name, last name, date of birth, or simply your ID card. I'll do the checking and I'll let you know. And the caller did say maybe you should have kiosks, information booths around the place and so on. I will boastfully say to you again that in the 2020 election, I think, or did it start in the 2015 election? I think I started it in the 2015 election, but definitely in the 2020 elections, we maintained an information booth at the junction of Line Top and Church of God Road, right by Cherry Blaze shop. They call it Blaze Square now. Right at the junction of Church of God Road and the railway line, I started an information booth there with a cell phone and internet access. And then we graduated to a computer and information access. And right now it's already established there. Go anytime to the Blaze shop there and ask them to check your name. There's a young lady there who will check it for you. Okay? Please do that. And again, if you don't have the time or you can't do all of that, just send me a WhatsApp with your information and I will give it to you. Lance Borges, the number is right in front of you. Talk the thing, 6225933. The number is right there. Okay, Mr. Borges, the number is right there. 6225933 is the number. So what happened, buddy? All you do? May you support the coalition like me? Very good. Very good choice. Because the coalition putting people first. But let me ask you something. You check for your name on the list yet? Well, partner, you got to check for your name on the list and show you there. So you will put the vote next to the palm come the 1st of September. Let me show you how to check them. It's hard, man. You just have to go up on GCOM website. When you go up on GCOM website, you will see this thingy. You see them? That GCOM website. You just have to scroll up or scroll down, whichever one you want to call them, but you check to go bottom of the page. And you see this red and white right thingy, resource hub, click on that. Once you click on that, you will see general and regional election for September 2025 scroll up again. And then right by your left hand side, you see query tool. Once we click on them and it turn blue there. Click on them. Good? Now you reach the page there, them ask you online, them tell you about online tools, query registration status. All of them say check to see if your name there. You can put in your ID number and you can search by ID number. But me no want to give you my ID number because not for you too fast, now what my ID number. Me go search by my first name, my last name, and my date of birth. So me put in Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my first name Kidaki Amsterdam, me put in my last name. Right? And then me go put in my date of birth. But again, I don't want to mind my business. But me go put in my date of birth. But are you watch me face good and proper? Me, I want coalition supporter because the coalition is putting people first. Right? When me don't put in my date of birth, and you don't put in you want to, click on search by particulars. When you click on search by particulars, this is how it will come up. You see revised list of electors and so on. We watch your name there right there. Me name there right there. When you scroll down, me name there right there. Occupation, teacher name, Amsterdam, Kidaki. Address 9 section C, Buxton. District 4, Demerara, Mahaika. Division 421-127C. Buxton Village, Friendship Village, south of the railway line. We tell you, man. No one background side, man. And me stay strong. Me as support the Aubrey Norton for president and director of finance for prime minister coalition, the APNU coalition. Because they got policies that are people-centered. They're putting people first. So when September 1st come and you go in the booth, now whether all of them just come, Johnny come lately, and all of them will tell you stupidness. Put your X next to the palm. Palm them out. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what the palm look like when you put your X next to. In case you don't know. What's the palm there? Put your X next to the palm and vote strong for the APNU coalition. Because we put in people first, and when you vote for we're going to ensure, you vote going to ensure that we get rid of the nasty, dirty, stinking, thieving PPP party and give you the best opportunity in this country that you ever had. So vote APNU. But before you vote APNU, remember you have to check to ensure that you're named upon the list. So go GCOM website. Go check them. Okay? Me gone. Me left for you. But spread the word. Spread the word. Tell everybody how to check for their name and tell everybody to vote for APNU. Buxton, Guyana, it's here again. The black is beautiful. All right, so let me tell you, so that you can be encouraged. One person just sent their information to me, and they can tell you right away. In under 2 minutes, I was able to find it and send it to them. Morning, Rhonda, you know yourself. I don't give people information. It's just, you know. All right, so y'all give me some information. If you want information, you send yours, and I'll find it for you. Good. The time is now 12 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. And so I am ready to go. I see there were two persons trying to make calls earlier, but as I say, if I'm speaking, there's no point of calling because I can't see if I'm speaking. Right? I think I realized why somebody was calling persistently. They're lazy for type their ID number. They send the whole ID to me. Oh God. You know, when I talk, y'all don't like it. Y'all don't like it when I talk. But some of y'all treat me like y'all personal secretary. Yeah? Just a type of ID number, partner. You send the whole ID. Well, anyway. This life in fear at all, eh? Anyhow, I want the thing to do this, so I will check it for you. The lines remain open. No, the lines don't remain open. No worry yourself. Like I said, every one of you should be an ambassador. Share this kind of information that you're getting. For example, you can encourage people to send their information so we can have it checked so they will get to know exactly where they're voting and stuff like that. Good. So this guy here sent me his information. I could tell you that according to GCOM, he works no place. Or you the seat by, or you the sleep. You pay your bills by, we gotta investigate you. Be careful, you know. Be very careful. Anyhow, I'm sending you the information. Your name is on the list. That's a good thing. And thank you for checking. So here it is. That's your information. Ensure it correct and so on and so forth. See where you're voting and everything and thing. Good. At this time, I think it's time for me to leave. Let me see. Okay, I get another one here to check. I will check this one. Yes, this one is really testing the system because it's asking me to use names. I like when y'all respond like that. I also want y'all continue to send information to other people that they be able to respond to. All right. 7-9. It look like we got a problem with this one, but let's ensure get it right. 7-9. Yes, partner. Lance, I'm finding none for you, boy. If you got an ID card number, you can send it to me. There's no record for you, Lance. So my advice to you again is if you have an ID card number, you can send that to me. And I will sort by ID number. Good. It's time for me to leave. It's 17 minutes past 9 o'clock. Y'all have a good day. And let me, of course, leave you with this beautiful song. This song makes it easy listening. Very, very easy listening.
And honey gone, but we still drink dregs. Them build big house while school roof fall, and poor man crying when rain start fall. Them take oil, gold and timber too, but the children hungry. Tell me what to do. From Burbank straight to let them side, it's only lies them they're trying to hide. It's been too long. The PPP must go. We've been silent. Too long. Them teething with a suit and a song. Too long. We paid the price, they played the done. Guyana rise, we must be strong. This can't go on.
Hello. Morning, Kidaki, morning. As they are visually impaired, send me name and ID card to you, man. Clifford. Yeah, Clifford, Kipping from Factory Road Paradise. Oh, good. Thank you. Let me see. Hold on. Yes, send me my name and my date of birth and my ID card to you there. No, me not Clifford. Kippins. Clifford. Yeah, me tell you WhatsApp. The guy needs money in time WhatsApp. We very. Hola.
Yeah, sorry about that. I know you weren't hearing me. Please do not call. Sorry. Please do not call. I ask you, calm the man. Hear me. Me nerves does get bad at a flash. And if we can't follow instructions, then I don't know how we're going to succeed in what we are doing. Please send me your information by WhatsApp. I will provide the necessary information to you once I search and I find it. Everybody's ringing you on the phone. Send me your WhatsApp. I will go through my WhatsApp one at a time. I will search the information for you. I will send it to you. If it is found, I will tell you, I will send a copy of what I find. If it is not found, I will tell you it's not found and what might be the next step. Please understand that. Now, I see Denise is saying she found her information on the GCOM website. But the list that is displayed at the place of poll doesn't have her name. Yes, I found many of those instances happening. And what I've advised people to do is to check the other polling places in the area. Because sometimes they are what you call alpha split. And so you might tell yourself your name should be here, but it gone someplace else. The first thing you can do is check the other polling places in your area. Hear me? This is the time to do it, where you have time. Because imagine on election morning, you turn up and you don't find your name on the list. And you got to go searching all over for it. It frustrates you and you say, me ain't got time with this nonsense, me voting. That could be a ploy of the PPP. Remember, the PPP controls GCOM. I don't care what anybody says. The PPP controls GCOM, especially the daily operations office, the admin office, whatever you want to call it, where the CEO does this thing. There might be a ploy to frustrate voters on elections day. Because unless your name is not on this list, check the one and check the one and check the other one. And the average Guyanese, especially with black people, me I don't tell me this is a waste time. I ain't voting. Don't fall into that trap. You find your name on the virtual site, GCOM site. It's not on that physical list where you think it should be. Check around on other lists and see where it is. Please do. As a matter of fact, when you ask me to search for your name and information, it tells you the place of, it tells you your voting district. So you now have that voting district number, which list to check. Okay? So it reduces your search too. So let's do this together. Somebody was saying kill it 15 minutes. When I kill 15 minutes, it cost me $15,000. It might sound like a joke. right? But there are things that I have to go and get done. If I don't do it, it will cost me money. Either I will lose business or I will have to pay somebody to get that done. And so I take the time to explain that to you. It's not like I just don't think I should invest the time with you. I think I invest a whole lot of time in the mornings with you already. And so if you're asking for extras, just understand that that extra will cost me. And the last time I checked, I hate to lament this, not very many people are contributing to the upkeep of this program, much less the upkeep of me and my business, right? If I go into the Cash App, for example, I will tell you the last time somebody contributed to the Cash App. Let me see. It's quite a long time ago. I know that for a fact. Right? Gonzalez sent us $20 and it, oh, sorry, I should not call your name. One contributor sent us $20 and the 28. Before that was the 21st, and before that was the 11th. Right? And these are not multiple contributions I'm talking about on that day, on those days. A singular contribution. But like I say, I don't like to come here and harp about you contributing financially and money and bills got to pay and because at the end of the day, I undertook this task and I will get it done with or without financial contributions. It's easier with your financial assistance. But when you ask for extras, I have to remind you that extras got a cost. It costs me at least. So understand that I have to go. It's 9:25. More than 25, well, 25 minutes exactly more than when I should be here. Y'all have a great day. Be good. Share the information, share the live. See you back here tomorrow.